Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sabansi. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today, if you're one of those people that has very soft emotions, you're going to get your feelings hurt in this show because I'm not going to be holding back on this particular show. But if you haven't liked the video, please be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Let me get into this topic here. You know, I've been noticing a lot of slander in the direction of easily the greatest player to ever play basketball in one Michael Jordan. I've noticed a lot of people trying to knock Jordan off of, well, unsuccessfully trying to knock Michael Jordan off of his GOAT status, and I see all of them falling flat on their faces every single day. Just the other day, I saw a segment on Undisputed, which I thought was a total debacle and a sham of Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharpe having a debate on who's the greatest player of all time based on some Giannis Antetokounmpo comments. What Giannis said was absolute ignorance. I think Giannis is a little bit too humble and always trying to be the good guy. My bro, stop. I like Giannis to pieces. To say LeBron is better than Michael Jordan is laughable. And Giannis didn't even expand on his reasoning. I disagree with Giannis 100%. 100%. I don't see any angle of that being the case. But nevertheless, people have been trying to take shots at Jordan. Another thing I've noticed people try to do as of recent, which is absolutely clownish, but nevertheless, these guys do it. They're horrible in making basketball points, and I can hear this whenever they try to make their arguments. Some of these dudes are actually out here saying, get this, that if it wasn't for Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan would have never won his championships. I have two responses to that. For the people that thought they were clever bringing up that point, please list the player that won championships by himself. We will all wait. There is no player. So to bring up that point is just flat out idiotic. You can't bring out an argument that can be used against you and think that you won anything. You didn't win a bloody thing. That's the first part. I said I'm going to hurt a lot of people's feelings in this show. So if you're one of these people that's going to have an emotional breakdown, just click off the show right now because you're going to get this work today. Shout out to Loaded Lux. Y'all about to get this serious work, and I'm going to take my time with it. So people have been saying this. So what did I do? What did I do? I said, let me go back into the history books. I'm using Google, by the way. Let me go back into the history books and understand what really took place back then. And I wanted to understand what was Scottie Pippen's contributions towards Michael Jordan and helping him win those championships. Now, the first thing I want to say is I don't want to oversimplify this. I don't want to oversimplify this to the point where it seems like I'm giving a superficial analysis of what really took place here, but I got to dumb it down. Michael Jordan was drafted in 1984. Okay? Michael Jordan was drafted in 1984. Scottie Pippen, on the other hand, I'm using Google, by the way. Scottie Pippen, on the other hand, was drafted in 1987. I'm using Google. I was a business management student. We were supposed to learn statistics and finance and accounting, not, the years that NBA players got drafted. I'm sorry. But anyway, that means that Michael Jordan came into the NBA 3 years before Scottie Pippen. Now, mind you, Scottie Pippen said that MJ wasn't really a good player before he got there. Okay, fantastic. Now, let's go look at what Michael Jordan was doing before Scottie Pippen got to the Chicago Bulls. Let us see. That year as a rookie, MJ scored 28 points per game, getting you 0.8 blocks per game, 2.4 steals per game, 5.9 assists, 6.5 rebounds, on 84.5% shooting, 17% shooting from the three, and 51% shooting from the field. Now, some people are going, well, this is the three. Let me just hit you guys with some information. MJ was only attempting like 2 or 3, maybe 4 threes a year for the first part of his career. He wasn't even a volume 3-point shooter. He wasn't even attempting threes. I'll roast you guys later on in the show when I get to that number. Anyway, that's what Jordan did his rookie season. Now let's look at what Scottie Pippen did. You know, the Superman that came to save Jordan. Wow. Well, Scottie Pippen's first season in 87, he scored 7.9 points per game. I can stop right there. 7.9 points per game. The very next year, Scottie Pippen doubled his output. He went from 7.9 points per game to 14.4 points per game with 1.9 steals, 3.5 assists, 6.1 rebounds, shooting 47% from the field and shooting 27% from the three. That's a major improvement. The next year, he bumped it up to 16.5 points per game. Meanwhile, MJ, on the other hand, the trash guy, the next year he broke his leg. The third season, MJ scored 37 points per game on twos. Michael Jordan scored 37 points per game on twos. To put that into further context for the morons in the background, let me give you guys some pertinent information that you may want to know. For you guys to even think in your brains that this thing was ever a conversation about Michael Jordan. Let me show you the difference between Jordan and your favorite players. That season at MJ averaged 37.1 points per game. Let me hip you guys up to some game real quick. I'm looking at the playoff stats. The playoff stats are just out of worldly. That year, Michael Jordan was attempting 0.8 threes per game and making 0.1. He only made about 2 or 3 3-pointers that entire year. So Jordan averaged 37.1 points per game on twos. 37.1 points per game on twos. Y'all gonna get this work today for trying to disrespect the greatest player in your sport, because none of us would be even talking about basketball if it wasn't for Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, and Michael freaking Jordan. And I'm sure some of these clowns that be hating on Jordan probably got Jordan shoes on. But I'm not done with you dudes yet. Then what happens? Jordan wins his first championship in 1990. 1990-1991 season. Let's look at Scottie Pippen's numbers that year. He scored 17.8 points per game, 1.1 blocks, 2.4 steals, 6.2 assists, 7.3 rebounds, and it's fair to say that these numbers don't capture defense. I'm glad we know this. Good. On 70% shooting from the free throw line, 30% shooting from the three, and 52% shooting from the field, which was his career high in terms of overall field goal percentage. Now, what was Jordan doing that year? He averaged, oh, by the way, I'm sorry. Outside of Jordan's first 2 years, Michael Jordan went on, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Jordan went 8 straight years where he led the league in scoring. Within those 8 years, he also led the league in steals 3 times. This is the dude y'all want to talk SHI, you know what about? You look like a certified bozo talking about Jordan, because there's no player that ever played basketball that you can bring up and hold next to this dude and anybody would take it seriously. It's actually laughable on all fronts. It's a joke show. I'm not done. Y'all gonna get this work. Let me get into this here. He was getting 6 rebounds on 85% shooting, 31% shooting from the three, and 53% shooting in the regular season. Let's get to the playoffs and let's look at what Scottie Pippen was doing, because Jordan needed Scottie Pippen to win those championships, right? So we about to see some gaudy numbers in those playoffs. Let's look at that first year. Scottie Pippen averaged 21.6 points per game in the playoffs, 1.1 blocks, 2.5 steals, 5.8 rebounds, 5.8 assists, 8.9 rebounds on 50% shooting from the field. Damn, he must have really led the Bulls. Oops. He didn't. Jordan outscored Scottie Pippen by an average of 10 points per game in those playoffs. 10 points per game. Got you 8.4 assists per game. Let me look. Did he lead Scottie in assists per game that year? Oops. The guy that needed Jordan, the guy that Jordan needed, Jordan scored more than him. He assisted the ball more than him. Let's look at steals per game. Maybe Scottie got him there. Let me see. Oh, Scottie beat him by 2.5 to 2.5 to 2.4. Jordan shot a higher free throw percentage and a higher Shot 38% from the three and 54% from the field. Next year, he averaged 34 points in the playoffs. Next year, he averaged 35 points in the playoffs. This is Michael Jordan. Go look at Scottie Pippen's numbers, and you tell me who needed who. If Scottie was the dude that Michael Jordan needed, why wasn't nobody going to Scottie Pippen at the end of games to close out games? Let me figure that out. Let me get this right here. I'm trying to figure this out. Y'all said that Jordan needed Scottie. When Jordan left and he wasn't there for a year, help me figure it out. Who did they go to the end of games? Was it Tony Kukoc? Why didn't they go to Scottie Pippen? Oh, that's right. Because Phil Jackson is racist. Jordan must be green man. Jordan must be red man. He must be purple man. Last time I checked, Jordan was black. He's blacker than Scottie Pippen. And you ignorant dweebs running around talking about Phil Jackson is racist. Help me figure it out. Hello, is this on? To quote Rob Parker. Y'all gonna get this work because y'all be saying a lot of stupid stuff. And I'm not even into my bag yet. I'm trying to figure out how this thing is a conversation. Would we even be talking about Scottie Pippen today if it wasn't for Michael Jordan? Help me figure it out. You talking about the dude that had his shoes in front of the camera, pointing at his shoes, talking about please come back? Why would you need somebody to please come back if you don't need him, if you don't need his help? Help me figure this out. It's only in 2023 that now we've entered this twilight zone where ass backwards becomes forward. Tail becomes head. Where any stupid thing that's said on the internet, there's always going to be some moron that's going to run behind it and say, I agree. Watch me twerk it up for you. Watch me twerk it up all over the place. I'm not even done yet. I was recently listening to Paul Pierce on Undisputed talking about the difficulty of an offensive player going out there and scoring 30 and then expecting him to play lockdown defense. This is Paul Pierce that said this. An NBA champion, an NBA Finals MVP. I think Paul Pierce is even top 75 if I'm not mistaken. Paul Pierce said that. Now let's go back to Michael Jordan. The dude, some of you bozos, is trying to act like he's not that dude because you dudes are embarrassments to the basketball community. Let me give you guys some information here. Michael Jordan, I'm using Google. Michael Jordan, by the way, went on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 year stretch. Or let me put it another way. 7, let me see, 8, 9, 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So Jordan went on an 11-year stretch when he led the league in scoring 10 times. Pretty remarkable. There's nobody in NBA history that you can bring up that will ever do that. But let me give you guys some other information here. In those 10 years, we're counting from what year? Let's go from 86 to 98. Let's see how many all-first defensive teams Jordan made in that same span. Let's see. Well, when did Jordan make his all-first defensive team? He made it in 88. He made it from 88 to 93. So Jordan was making all-first and all defense for leading the league in scoring and making all-first defense for 5 straight years. Then he went from 96 to 98. And by the way, when did he win his Defensive Player of the Year award? Let me see. When did Jordan win his Defensive Player of the Year award? He won it in 88. In 88, did it lead the league in scoring? Let me figure it out. So wait a minute. You mean to tell me Michael Jordan scored 37 points per game, got 1.6 blocks, also led the league in steals in 88, and also won the Defensive Player of the Year, and you clowns are trying to bring me another basketball player to say he's on the level of this dude? This is my new manifesto. If anybody takes shots at Jordan, you're an idiot. That's my new manifesto about basketball. The new rule is, if you try to diminish MJ, you know nothing about basketball, and they should throw away your basketball card. That should be the new rule. If you say anything idiotic about Michael Jordan on Instagram or YouTube, they should block your account for sheer stupidity. The guy led the league in scoring. He won the Defensive Player of the Year that year. He led the league in steals. Did he win a championship that year? Hold up. Let me figure it out. He didn't win the championship. That's all he didn't do. But in 1993, he led the league in scoring. He led the league in steals, and he won the Finals MVP. Hello? What am I missing here? What am I missing? Now I'm going to get to another point where I'm going to eat the you dudes and call it a day. Because I can see y'all already turned into ashes. So I just need to pour this water on you to finish you dudes off. Now, I've been hearing that what LeBron is doing is something that Michael Jordan could never dream of. Yeah, Jordan could never dream of getting swept in the finals multiple times, losing by record margins, going into an all-star game and have dudes walking up to him, slapping him like, hey, hello, shoot the ball, Jordan. Jordan could never have that. All I know is that Jordan went for an 8-year period where the Chicago Bulls never lost more than 2 games. You bring me somebody that ever did that. I'll wait. That did it with just 1 all-star. Or 2. Let me give you 2. I'm not talking about Bill Russell Celtics. I'm not talking about Magic with 100 all-star. I'm talking about Jordan who 3-peated 2 times. First time he did it with 1 all-star. Bring me the guy that won 3 championships with just 1 all-star. All I can think about it was Shaq and Kobe, and that was it. And it took Shaq and Kobe to do what Jordan did with Pippen. The Pippen, he was dragged to the finals. And speaking of finals, the dude that Jordan needed to win all of those championships, wasn't it the same Scottie Pippen in Game 6 in Utah that had a bad back that was having bad spasms and Jordan had to score over 50% of the Bulls games and shot the shot to win the game and held the pose? This the dude we talking about? This the dude. You dudes are bozos when it comes to the NBA. All this takes is research and observation. Let me eat the you dudes right quick before I close it out. Now, they were saying LeBron is doing, let me hip you guys to some game. At the age of 38, LeBron scored. Let me hip you guys to some game. He scored, I believe it was 30 points per game. Let me pull it up. LeBron James. Let me see. What year was that? That was 2021. When Jordan was playing with the Wizards, he scored 22.9 points per game. And some of the LeBron fans will say, oh, LeBron is so much better. Jordan could never. Oh. In the 2000s, the average score of NBA games were 96.9 points per game. I'll round it up and give you 97. The average score per game when LeBron scored those points was about 112 to 113. But some people say, but yeah, I know the game is faster. I know there are more shots, so it's easier to score. But I'm too stupid to admit that, so I'm going to hold on to my logic. But LeBron still scored more points because LeBron is greater. Oh, is he really? Is he really greater? Let me give you guys some information. By the way, I got this on Google, and it took me to NBA.com. That year, Jordan scored 22.9 points per game. Michael Jordan was attempting 0.9 threes per game. And he was making 0.2. How many threes was LeBron attempting that year when he scored 30? Let's look it up. Let me see. LeBron was attempting 8 threes a game. 8 threes. And he was making 2.9. So what if Jordan was attempting 4 threes per game? And he was making 2. Or let's say 1.5. So let's say he was getting about 3 to 4 points. Wouldn't his average have jumped from about 23 to about 28? Now, what if Jordan was averaging 8 threes? Wouldn't Jordan have been scoring over 30? But wait a minute. What severe leg injury was LeBron playing with? Because I know Jordan was. Jordan had a severe leg problem, knee issues. And there were some games it was so bad He had to force himself to play. Let me close here. LeBron will never, ever, at any point in the history of basketball, be anything close to Michael Jordan. That ship sailed a long time ago. Jordan is in a classroom by himself. And the distance between these two guys is the distance between heaven and earth. I really believe that. If you feel otherwise, that's your bloody business. I truly believe it is not even close. Scottie is not even worth mentioning in terms of Jordan needing him to win. Let's stop the nonsense and put some damn respect on a guy that's actually the reason why a lot of some of these dudes even eating. Take Jordan out of the NBA and you take the money out of the NBA. Pay some respect to the people that made you millions. It'll look good on you. I'm out.